What's up, everybody? It's me, E-Man, and today we're gonna sorry. What's up, everybody? It's me, E-Man, and today we're gonna review let's get into a quick intro. Arthur Fleck is a guy who's down on his luck and disregarded by society. On top of that, he's crazy. All right, let's get into the good.
The good.
Look, let's not even beat around the bush. Joaquin Phoenix was absolutely brilliant in this role and nailed it. At no point does he falter in his portrayal of a troubled and mentally ill man that gets pushed over a dangerous edge. Phoenix brought a lot of depth to the character for audiences who may not be familiar with how complex Arthur Fleck can be. I think the strongest aspect to his acting is how he's able to portray the internal dysfunction of his character into an external expression of his fractured perception of reality. That in itself carries the movie the whole way through. You can't help but to be enthralled by Phoenix every time he's on screen because you're always wondering just when will he finally break. His maniacal laugh is both awkward and offsetting. Some of the best moments in the movie will come from his extremely uncomfortable scenes that are very cringeworthy, kind of like his stand-up scene, or the random acts of violence. Regardless of the situation, his performance is going to bring forth some sort of reaction from you as the movie progresses. Now, another great highlight with this movie is going to come from the editing and overall cinematography in terms of how this movie was shot. There are moments in the film that are shot in a way that almost make you feel like you're experiencing the world with and through the Joker character. Without getting into spoilers, the way the movie is edited also creates a fun experience for audiences to not only challenge our perceptions of the film, but to probably even warrant multiple viewings. I do believe that director Todd Phillips accomplished his goal in presenting a city, in this case Gotham, that eventually will need a Caped Crusader to save it. The setting and atmosphere of the film is well established by borrowing some of the feel and flair from the 70s era of filmmaking. You get a really good sense of Gotham given the state of the society. As a matter of fact, the city essentially becomes a character in itself, which also complements Joker's character as well. Another plus for Joker is the unique approach that it takes within the Batman mythos. What I appreciated here as a comic book fan is that this film took some leeway with giving us a slightly different take on how the world of Gotham came about. It was intriguing to see how this film took a unique approach to show the political and societal situations that feed into the character of Joker. What makes this all work is that Batman, or Bruce Wayne, really doesn't have to be a centralized character in this story for you to care. That is a real strength given Joker's direct connection to the Batman character. Alright, enough of that, let's get to the bad.
The bad.
Now let me just say that this is a personal issue that I have with the movie, so you don't actually have to agree with it. Matter of fact, you can go ahead and pop your grain of salt right now. But my primary issue with this movie is how overly sympathetic they made the Joker appear. While the movie does try to go for more realistic and grounded approaches with the character, it still ends up pushing some unbelievable situations for dramatic effect. It's basically one issue on top of another that becomes inescapable for Fleck's character. There's no denying the fact that at every single turn of this film, whenever Fleck does something bad, the movie gives some sort of rationalization behind it. While his actions may not be justified all the time, there are enough reasons provided where audiences may sympathize to the point where they at least understand his actions, even if they may not condone them. Now, to be fair to this movie, there are instances in the film that refute everything I just said, but unfortunately I can't go into too much detail about that because that would be spoiler territory. Now, what I will say, however, is that the imagery of a film carries much more weight than a simple line of writing that tries to undo this or that or explain something else away. And again, like I said, this is just my personal issue based off of my experience with this iconic character. And the last thing I want to do is feel for the Joker. Like, regardless of the Joker's actions, this movie leaves too deep of an impression from a visual standpoint where you can't help but to understand him more than you may initially want to. But enough of that, let's get to the reason.
The reason.
Joker is a captivating and insanely brilliant presentation of the iconic comic book villain, thanks to the award-worthy performance of Joaquin Phoenix. Joker isn't a typical comic book movie, and it's also not your typical art house film that only the purest of movie buffs would enjoy. Joker was an interesting blend that tries to appeal to both audiences, and I would say that despite any divisiveness, it does accomplish the goal of appealing to both crowds. Comic fans can look forward to yet another story within the Batman world, and non-comic book fans can watch a dramatic tragedy befall an extremely damaged character. So when it comes to the rating for Joker, I've got to give it an 8.5 out of 10. And let me tell you something, this movie practically demands to be seen multiple times. There are some insanely deep nuances in the story that a lot of people are going to miss with a single viewing. Now, I'll admit, I had to actually go back and change my rating for this movie based on my second time seeing it, because there were a ton of things that I missed, and after seeing it again, it blew my mind just how many things were there all along. So by all means, I am absolutely recommending that you go see Joker in theaters. Okay, so I know many of you are wondering, after watching Joker or before going in, does Joaquin Phoenix do a better Joker than Heath Ledger or any of the previous Jokers? Well, in my opinion, I don't even really want to compare them. I think he did an equally good enough job just because he does a completely different Joker. Phoenix is not trying to be the Heath Ledger Joker. We get a completely fresh and different take on it, and Joaquin Phoenix nails it. So the closest I'll get into comparison is just saying that Joaquin Phoenix has safely entered the club along with all of the other great Jokers that we've seen on screen. Okay, just so you know, that's kind of like it for the review part of this. So those are my thoughts on the movie. Now, there has been a lot of controversy about this, a lot of articles, news, and blah, blah, blah. So I would be kind of remiss if I at least didn't give some quick thoughts on that. Now, does the Joker movie potentially give fodder to people who might be mentally unstable or maybe prone to violence? Yes, it does. Does Joker present a problematic image of violence that gets rewarded with hero worship? Yup, it definitely does that too. The film depicts and verbally echoes many of the qualities and thoughts and traits that noted mass murderers and such have been documented to exhibit. Now, does that mean we should ban the movie or that you should skip it or any other type of censorship? Nope. What I think is important to understand is that the mentally unstable people are going to latch on to anything. So that's not necessarily an indictment against this film. At the same time, it doesn't hurt to simply just be more aware during your movie-going session. It never hurts to be a little bit more cautious and mindful because, people either want to play pranks or just act stupid, just to play off of the whole controversy. So I would just say, just be safe out there, that's all, and still go have a good time, because you guys know I'm not going to tell you not to go see something. I've always had the firm belief that you all should make up your own mind about these things. Either way, Joker is a movie that's going to leave people talking and thinking. All right, that's all I've got. Thank you so much for joining me. Have you seen Joker already? If you have, let me know what you thought about the movie. I'm going to be working on a follow-up video, so please stay tuned for that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and break down the Joker movie and maybe just point out some things that people might have missed. So if you don't want to miss out, stay tuned. I will have that video up hopefully soon. Again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. Guys, I always appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.